Today we are going to look at M&A and introduction as the module. Let's look at what we're going to cover in the M&A module. Number one, we're going to look at the financial analysis landscape or the financial ecosystem that is present out there. Secondly, we're going to look at how companies look to achieve growth, that is a top line growth and a bottom line growth. Thirdly, we will look at how companies are looking to grow or the vehicles of growth available to the company. After that, we're going to look at the strategic rationale for M&A to achieve those levels of growth. Then we're going to look at valuations in an M&A. How much should you pay for a particular merger and acquisition? Next, what exactly is M&A? The types of M&A, and then let's look at the Indian M&A market. So let's deep dive into the M&A space. First of all, let us kind of try and understand what the financial analysis landscape is about. Firstly, you have investment banking units present. What do investment bankers do? They help in capital raising. Now this can be either through debt or through equity. And then of course they have advisory services. These advisory services are given to clients who are looking to do an M&A or to restructure their business so as to achieve higher growth. Then we have companies which are basically into equity and credit research. Equity research analysts basically look at the listed space or the unlisted space and look to make an investment into a company or partially buy a company and then make money off the fact that the value of the company is going to go up over a period of time. That is in a sense what an equity research analyst does. There can be analysts who even work on the economy, on commodities, on real estate and other asset classes. Then there are credit research analysts. When a company needs to raise debt, they need to be certified by a credit rating agency. The credit rating agency gives them a rating for the business model that is being employed, for the kind of management that is running the show. And based on that credit rating, they can go and get a bank debt, and that credit rating affects their cost of debt or the rate of interest that they're going to pay. Thus, credit rating analysts are basically analysts who are capable of working within the framework of a credit rating agency and giving a credit rating to a company looking to avail a loan. After that, we have something called as project finance. When a company is looking to undertake a certain project, let's say for example, a company wants to build a road. To build the road, the company requires a certain feasibility study. How many vehicles are going to ply on that road? What is going to be the cost of making that road? Will the revenues come in adequate time? What is the capital structuring needed to make that growth? What is the kind of debt or equity needed to make that road? And accordingly, that is where they employ a project finance company. The project finance company helps in project structuring, which is in a sense telling you what kind of capital structure you can use, what kind of suppliers you can use. They also, once the road is built, if you have a toll collection on the road, they help in basically monitoring the portfolio and in collections of those tolls. They help in risk analysis. So they will be able to tell you what the trajectory of the vehicles is going to be on that road, and if there is any other substitute to plying on that road. That itself gives you good enough adequate understanding of the forecasting of your future cash flows. Then they, like I said earlier, they even help you in structuring your project finance, which is taking on debt, equity or quasi-debt, quasi-equity. Lastly, we have financial consultants that are out there. Any company that works in the financial space has a certain tax implication on it. They basically help you in understanding your tax liabilities out there. Those are tax consultants.